Union Test Prep's Reasoning Through Language Arts Practice Test for the GED exam. Please note there will be a brief pause after answer choices are given. This is a great time to pause the video to solve. Question 1. What does laughter mean? What is the basal element in the laughable? What common ground can we find between the grimace of a merry andrew, a play upon words, an equivocal situation in a burlesque, and a scene of high comedy? What method of distillation will yield us invariably the same essence from which so many different products borrow either their obtrusive odor or their delicate perfume? The greatest of thinkers, from Aristotle downwards, have tackled this little problem, which has a knack of baffling every effort of slipping away and escaping only to bob up again, a pert challenge flung at philosophic speculation. Our excuse for attacking the problem in our turn must lie in the fact that we shall not aim at imprisoning the comic spirit within a definition. We regard it, above all, as a living thing. However trivial it may be, we shall treat it with the respect due to life. This passage was taken from Laughter, an essay on the meaning of comic by Henry Bergson. According to the author, why does comedy deserve respect? A. It was studied by greats such as Aristotle. B. It is difficult to define. C. It is a living entity. Or D. It can offend some and bolster others. The correct answer is C. Although all the answers could apply to comedy, and the claims may even be true in the passage, the question specifically asks why comedy is respected. The passage says comedy deserves respect because it is a living thing. Question 2. What does laughter mean? What is the basal element in the laughable? What common ground can we find between the grimace of a merry andrew, a play upon words, an equivocal situation in a burlesque, and a scene of high comedy? What method of distillation will yield us invariably the same essence from which so many different products borrow either their obtrusive odor or their delicate perfume? The greatest of thinkers, from Aristotle downwards, have tackled this little problem, which has a knack of baffling every effort of slipping away and escaping only to bob up again, a pert challenge flung at philosophic speculation. Our excuse for attacking the problem in our turn must lie in the fact that we shall not aim at imprisoning the comic spirit within a definition. We regard it, above all, as a living thing. However trivial it may be, we shall treat it with the respect due to life. What does the author suggest is imprisoning comedy? A. Talking about it. B. Strictly defining it. C. Studying it thoroughly. Or D. Attacking comedy routines. The correct answer is B. The essay itself is talking about comedy and suggests all of the greats thoroughly studied comedy. It does not discuss attacking comedy routines, but does mention that defining comedy is essentially imprisoning it. Question 3. What does laughter mean? What is the basal element in the laughable? What common ground can we find between the grimace of a merry andrew, a play upon words, an equivocal situation in a burlesque, and a scene of high comedy? What method of distillation will yield us invariably the same essence from which so many different products borrow either their obtrusive odor or their delicate perfume? The greatest of thinkers, from Aristotle downwards, have tackled this little problem, which has a knack of baffling every effort of slipping away and escaping only to bob up again, a pert challenge flung at philosophic speculation. Our excuse for attacking the problem in our turn must lie in the fact that we shall not aim at imprisoning the comic spirit within a definition. We regard it, above all, as a living thing. However trivial it may be, we shall treat it with the respect due to life. Based on the passage's information regarding comedy, where might you find difficulty in defining comedy? A. In giving a breathable, fluid definition. B. In thinking yourself so confident as to be capable of defining comedy. C. In determining the essence of comedic timing. Or D. In attacking your own definitions of comedy. The correct answer is A. The author identifies defining comedy as difficult because it is a living, moving thing and cannot easily be nailed down. He does not discuss individual egos, comedic timing, or bringing your own comedic definitions into the mix. Question 4. Some, indeed, object to this, my undertaking, and, apparently from motives of affection, compare me to a painter who, rich in colors and like another Zeuxis, eminent in his art, is endeavoring with all his skill and industry to give celebrity to a cottage or to some other contemptible object, whilst the world is anxiously expecting from his hand a temple or a palace. This passage was taken from Description of Wales by G. Cambrensis. What does the author suggest by stating to give celebrity to a cottage whilst the world is expecting a temple or a palace? A. That the audience might feel disappointed reading descriptions of Wales, a relatively simple place. B. That the audience would rather view paintings of Wales instead of a written description. C. That Wales is as contemptible as a cottage. Or D. That he believes his time is wasted writing about something as contemptible as Wales. The correct answer is A. The author believes Wales is a worthy place but says at the start of the paragraph that his audience may feel that he should divert his skill to a grander place, just as a painter would be better off painting a grandiose structure instead of a cottage. Although the author says the audience might consider a cottage contemptible in comparison to greater things, he himself is not suggesting that Wales is worthy of contempt or unworthy of his time. Question 5. And they further add that every faculty which emanates from the deity ought rather to be applied to the illustration of celestial objects and to the exaltation of his glory, from whose abundance all our talents have been received. Every faculty, say they, ought to be employed in praising him from whom, as from a perennial source, every perfect gift is derived, and from whose bounty everything which is offered with sincerity obtains an ample reward. What is the main idea of this passage? A. All writing should be limited to praising the person writing. B. All writing should be used to praise the creator who has gifted the writer with his or her talent. C. All writing should be used for higher concepts rather than lowly depictions. Or D. Skillful writing is in the eye of the beholder. The correct answer is B. The author suggests here that his audience might be thinking that his work should be devoted entirely to the illustration of celestial objects and to the exaltation of his glory, from whose abundance all our talents have been received, suggesting that all writing should be used to praise the giver of such gifts rather than any other pursuit. Question 6. Population distribution. The core of the population lies in and around London, with significant clusters found in central Britain around Manchester, the Scottish lowlands between Edinburgh and Glasgow, southern Wales in and around Cardiff, and far eastern Northern Ireland, centered on Belfast. This passage was taken from the CIA library. According to the passage, which is the second most populated area in England? A. Glasgow, B. Edinburgh, C. Manchester, or D. Cardiff. The correct answer is C. The passage identifies parts of the UK as a whole with large populations including Wales and Scotland, but only identifies Manchester as being a larger population in Britain. Question 7. Which of these sentences correctly employs subject-verb agreement? A. The animals was mooing in the barn. B. The farmer were too close to the tractor. C. The basket of towels were just out of reach. Or D. The basket of towels was just out of reach. The correct answer is D. Animals should be accompanied by were, a plural verb, while farmer should have been accompanied by was, a singular verb. Although it might seem correct to use the plural were to describe the towels, the verb is actually applied to the basket filled with towels, which requires a singular verb. Question 8. Which of these sentences is correct? A. Albert wanted to go to the park. 2. B. Cicely felt it was her right to visit her ailing grandmother. C. Sophia did not think her sister needed to ride along with her mother. 2. D. Emily, 2, did not want her brother to think she was afraid of the dark. The correct answer is C. Answer C is the only sentence correctly using the word TOO. TWO is a number, while TO is a preposition used to depict the direction or action of a noun or pronoun. Question 9. The dog went to the bathroom, but he didn't know how to use the facilities. How should this sentence be corrected? A. The dog went to the bathroom and didn't know how to use the facilities. B. The dog went to the bathroom, however, he didn't know how to use the facilities. C. The dog went to the bathroom but didn't know how to use the facilities. Or D. The dog went to the bathroom, however, didn't know how to use the facilities. The correct answer is C. The first option changed the meaning of the sentence by changing but to and. The second, though it could have used however, failed to properly punctuate the word using both a semicolon and comma. The third option kept but rendering the meaning the same, and place the comma in the correct spot. Finally, the fourth sentence properly punctuated however, but failed to add he to make the sentence complete. Question 10. Learning by example is the most effective way to learn. While it is certainly useful to instruct others in the way they should behave or how something should be done, modeling the behavior or action provides a simple, concrete way to witness and apply the lesson. This is particularly true of children. Children will more readily follow their parents' example rather than simply listening to their parents' instructions. If parents make cleaning the table a priority, children are more likely to follow suit and clean up after their meals. Which of these positions is best supported by the passage? A. Learning by example is not effective. B. Learning by example is the ideal way to learn. C. Learning by example is moderately effective. Or D. Learning by example can be problematic. The correct answer is B. The passage suggests that learning by example is certainly effective and is in fact the best possible way to learn, as it provides a way to actually witness the behavior or action in question. For more free study guides, flashcards, and practice tests, please visit us at uniontestprep.com/GED.